Hello. In today's video, we're going to be covering the topic of ego. We're going to be looking into what ego is, how it links to pride, and how to remove it. We're going to be looking into a limiter and what it is. We're going to be also looking into the importance of being humble and creating bad drawings so that you can become the best artist that you could possibly be. These are things I've learned recently, so if I don't explain it the best, please do say. Again, I'm still a growing artist. I'm on this journey with you guys as well. But I hope the advice in the video can be useful to anyone of any skill level. And if there's anything else you want me to cover in another video, comment it down below. And have a good day. And enjoy. Okay. Should I use black? Why am I on the thing saying? Okay. Pen works. Let us start with I guess the first thing, which is probably preventing us from being able to efficiently reflect, right? And this could be a limiter, right? Yeah, let me erase that. So, limiter. And then I'll write limit. Right. So this is, let's say this is you. This is you. This is you. And this is like a staircase. Okay, right. Limiter, right. Obviously, as you just simply draw, just from drawing alone, most of the time, especially if you're new, right? Just drawing random stuff, trying to be consistent, you're gonna casually make progress. Right? And over time, you're gonna then reach a limit, right? You're gonna reach a limit because everyone's different, right? Everyone's different. Some people are just there's a talent aspect to it. Some people are just smart with their approach and X, Y, Z. But you're gonna reach some sort of limit, right? Where you can't just keep drawing and keep drawing. Is it? Yeah, you can't just keep drawing and keep drawing. You actually have to be intentional, right? You have to be intentional with what you're actually doing. You have to be intentional. So this most of the time means picking an art fundamental. This most of the time means picking an art fundamental or a specific subject matter to focus on, right? Most of the time is what you need to do, right? But there is also another thing, which is that could also be the reason you've reached this limit, right? So obviously this one's pretty easy to do, right? This is most of the time it is a pretty simple thing. It's not too much. I wouldn't say it's too much thought into it, honestly. It just comes down to your goals and whatnot. But there's another reason you could be here, and this is ego and pride. The reason you're at this limit is because you think you don't need to improve anymore, right? And to be honest with you, if it's ego and pride, look, let me even use yellow. I think pride 100% is yellow. Anyone disagree? You're getting kicked. I'm joking. Yeah. So this is pride, right? Pride. You usually think you're still going and you're getting better. most of the time. And why did I draw like that? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. This is pride and ego. You don't even think you have a limiter. You don't think there's a limiter, and you just keep going and going and going. Right. And another thing, right, is when people correct you, you ignore it. Right. This is pride and ego, right? Right. Someone says, "Oh no, this drawing it's not good enough," right? And a normal person would sit there and analyze, the wisdom that they've been given. But you, on the other hand, if pride and ego is the issue, you're gonna get angry, right? You might not tell them. You might keep that inside of you, but you're gonna be like, nah. I don't. That's not helpful advice. That's not it. That's not the reason I'm struggling with this. Nah, I'm good enough. I'm the best. I'm the best at this. Nah, it doesn't matter. Just ignore them. Right. And that's obviously one way that ego and pride can come up. Making you not want to go out of your comfort zone, right? That's why you don't like criticism, because it takes you out of your comfort zone. What you were doing before, you have to change it, but you don't want to change it, right? Because it's been working. You think it's been working. You think you've been getting results. You think you've been improving, and X, Y, and Z. But however, there is another element within. I wouldn't even say it's pride. I mean, it's more ego. I'd also like to just clarify this ego, pride stuff, like I'm talking about in this section, before I move on to the next. I think the best way to describe it, right, is seeing your ego as like layers which are covering, I guess, like the true you. Like, I'm gonna slap an image on screen. It's shame. What I'm getting across. As you can obviously see, there's one mask. There's a mask on each side, and imagine like a teacher giving that person advice, and it just hitting the masks and then coming off, hitting the masks and then coming off. That's the same idea I'm trying to get across with ego. So I hope that makes sense. Ego? What color would ego be? Ego has to be a dark color. No, blue isn't right. Black maybe. Yeah, I'd say black. Ego. Ego might be white though. Oh no. Ego. Ego. And mistakes. It's actually ego versus mistakes. Right. When you why do I say it's ego versus mistakes, and why do I not phrase it in any other way? Because an egotistical person doesn't think they're making mistakes. I guess this kind of links to pride. I don't know how I feel about the way I'm drawing it, but we'll keep going with this. An egotistical person doesn't like hearing the words of other people, especially when it's not praise. They only want to hear praise. They don't like hearing that they're making mistakes, right? They don't like, well, because again, what does it do? It shatters their ego. It humbles them, right? An egotistical person needs to be humble, right? An egotistical person, they need to be humble. And because of the fact that they're not humble, right, they're gonna oh gosh, yeah, they're gonna avoid people who, they actually avoid people who are better than them, right? Because they act as if they are the best, right? And I don't think, especially in art, I don't think it's an outwardly thing that you show that you act as if you're the best. It's more of an internal thing, right? That you think you're the best. Oh, I can do that. That's easy, right? I don't think art is not one of those. It's not like a sport, right? Where people proclaim that, oh, I'm the best and da 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 da. It's an internal thing, right? Which prevents people from actually making the necessary progress, right? That's why I say it's a limiter, because you need mistakes. Mistakes are the true gold. Mistakes are the true gold. True gold. True gold. Right. This limiter right here, it takes a while. Not a while, but it's just a mind shift, really. I think probably the best way to do this is just create bad drugs. Like it goes back. It goes back to this. Create lots of bad drugs. The best way to do that is actually, no, Jenny. The pieces you say, I could do, right? Especially from professional artists, do them. Do those pieces from professional artists, and have your ego crushed. Jenny, have your ego crushed. Spend as long as you want. Jenny, spend as long as you want. Actually, no, I wouldn't even say lots. Create lots of bad drugs. Lots of bad drugs. There's no real number on it, actually. Now I think there's no real number on it. One could even be enough. Jenny, have your ego crushed. Let me even find, editor Sky, slap some images of actual, just insane artwork on the screen, bro. For anyone who thinks, I'm a top artist, I'm this, that, and the third. Editor Sky, slap some images on the screen and get them to draw one or two, and then we need to see their egos crushed. Because that's the biggest issue. That's the biggest issue, which is acting as this limiter for some people. It's generally that I'm good I'm too good, or it's deep down. I'm liking this. This just came to me. Either it's deep down, right? You act as if you're the best, or you acknowledge that you're not good enough, right? So you avoid. You avoid making bad drugs. You avoid these things, right? You avoid these things, and you only do what you're comfortable and you're quote unquote good at, right? This would be the equivalent of what's a good example? This would be the equivalent of practicing your shooting, right? Practicing your shooting when you already score the best goals, and instead you should be prioritizing your passing and your teamwork skills. It's like, you're already your top striker, shooting beautiful goals, but there's an issue with your attitude. There's an issue with your teamwork, your leadership skills. These are your issues, right? But deep down, you know these are your issues. Deep down, you know these are your issues, but you don't want to acknowledge them. Why? Because it would do what? It will crush your ego. But that's what we need. That's what we need you to do. You need your ego to be crushed, right? Because then that will remove this limiter. Right? Because the ego is the limiter in the situation. Your ego is what is limiting you. Right? I'm pretty sure you've all heard that about ego is the enemy. Ego is the enemy. Comfort is the killer of man. we've all heard these quotes, right? They all sound nice and, you know, beautiful, and, you know, oh, let's frolic in the park. Yeah, I like the quotes. And it's cool, but it's about actually acting on it, right? That's why I emphasize this, bro. You need your ego crushed. You need to have your ego crushed. When you have your ego crushed, look, then we can reflect properly, bro. A crushed ego means what? We can build back up again. We can build back up again, right? And what will we do? What will we do? I don't know, I just like that. We'll make more progress. We'll improve faster. Why? Because we won't have this egotistical lens on. We won't have this prideful lens on. Instead, we'll be looking at it from, okay, let me reflect properly on my current art skills from a more objective lens, instead of, again, ego, pride. And let me actually make a difference. Let me actually grow. Let me actually take on the advice that this person is giving me. Let me think, oh, is this advice actually useful to me right now? Let me verify with other sources. Let me actually look more into my mistake, look more into my weaknesses, so that I can improve and become a better artist. Right? Again, the two key phrases for this video are reflection and crushed ego. If you're gonna comment on the video, make sure you comment what lesson you learned, and whatever you want to comment afterwards, because it's key. It's cool commenting and always saying, oh, the video's nice, but what did you actually learn from the video? And then second, comment whatever you want to say about the video, or whatever questions you have about the video, about me, and whatever it may be. So I think that's important, man. It's important to do, especially as artists, new artists, senior artists, professionals, and so forth. So yeah, that makes up the rest of the video. That's pretty much it. If you enjoyed, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.